not, you will hear the feedback.
Yes.
So you can go ahead and close it. We all got the message.
Okay, good. Okay. So we should
Okay.
be good, right? Okay, thank you so much,
You're
Teresa.
welcome. Have a good meeting.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Say Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year's. Is that what you said, Laura?
I did.
Oh, okay. Happy New Year's to you guys too.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, Teresa.
You're
See you
welcome.
tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you again, Lizzie, for that. Thank you
Oh,
very
sure,
much.
sure. No problem.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right. So we have Laura. Hello, Laura. And a call-in user. Number one, would you like to introduce yourself or just checking? Okay, all right. So good evening, everyone. Let's see. Thank you for attending this meeting. It's 6:35 p.m. So I would like to call the meeting to order. And 6:35. Let me just get my notebook here. Okay. And get a copy of the agenda. I just came from work, so.
Lizzie, maybe it doesn't matter, but right now,
Uh-huh.
you're just identified as UNNC. If you want to say UNNC Lizzie.
Oh,
people
okay.
know
Got it, got it.
who you are.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, so let's go through the agenda. Okay, I will stop the share because I need to find it actually. I have it on my phone, but not here.
If you want to make me co-host, I have the agenda.
Okay, yes, please, if it's easier that way. Yeah. Make co-host. Okay, I just made you co-host.
Okay. And can you see it?
Yes. So let me, oh, yeah. I think we need to go to the top. Okay. So, yes. All right. So let me start by reading the determination to continue to hold meetings virtually. BONC, the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, and the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, with guidance from the LA City Attorney, have established that BONC has the authority to adopt AB 361 findings pursuant to Government Code Section 54953E1BC on behalf of the city's neighborhood councils, and to determine that due to the COVID-19 state of emergency, meeting in person would present imminent risks to the health or safety of attendees. This meeting is therefore being conducted virtually pursuant to that directive. Now, like I said, we call the meeting to order, and let's review the agenda at this time. So we have welcome and introductions if necessary, followed by general public comments, 1 to 2 minutes per speaker. Next in the agenda is a discussion and possible actions regarding the upcoming UNNC elections. We'll be going over the next stages in the cycle, which are the current candidate filing window, which is currently open and ends on February the 6th. And we have some further deadlines to meet and to work about. such as the call for vote by mail request, mailing out ballots, the candidates meet and greet, a virtual candidate forum, election day, and Earth Day festival, and work on an overall elections awareness and promotion campaign, which includes social media posts, etc. Discuss possible electioneering rules, plus a follow-up on the budget and logistics, the budget which has already been approved by our governing board, and logistics regarding these already mentioned election-related events. Plus, of course, last but not least, the concurrent day of election Earth Day celebration, which will be held on 12th Avenue and Washington with a street closure. Next in the agenda is the UNNC awareness campaign on social media by using the hashtag UNNC at 20. And we have a follow-up to previous agenda items and all business. And at this time, I would also like to table item 8, which is the review and approval of minutes. Once again, I need to table it till the next month, and then adjournment. So if someone would please move to approve this agenda if there are no objections.
So moved.
Thank you. So I second, agenda is approved. Thank you. So let's get going. So our first item here is introductions. We don't have anyone else, so we'll just continue with our meeting. Are there any comments that we would like to mention? I don't have any right now. How about you, Laura?
Only that this is outreach related, more non-elections related. We do need to somehow promote the various Martin Luther King weekend activities in the next few days.
Oh,
I mean, finally rolling it as an e-blast.
yes. Okay. And you received the copy
Yes.
of the flyer, right? Okay.
Yes.
And I was checking closely to see if our logo, it was the old logo, but still it's there, even though it wasn't mentioned in the
Yeah.
copy, but oh well. But at least the logo is there. So
And that is this year, because it looks just like last year's, but anyway.
yes, I was actually checking because it looked just like last year, like you say. I thought maybe I had clicked on 2000, you know.
Yeah. So my plan is actually to get the environmental committee meetings thing out and then take a breath and focus on doing a blast that people will read.
Okay, all right. And last night at the public safety meeting, I also mentioned those events. Okay, so if there are no further comments, we'll dive into the UNNC elections. So okay, Gabby unfortunately cannot attend. I have not heard from Rahim. So I guess we'll just start discussing, but if there are any action items that we need to request to them, we can always forward that information. Okay, so we're having the candidate right now. We are going through the candidate filing window. We did receive 2 social media designs, graphic digital designs that we would like to create a post. Yet again, one more post about elections and candidate recruiting. Use that one. Hopefully, it can be a change to include your vote count in Spanish as well with a sign. And as soon as that is done, then I can post and boost. Of course, trying to,
Your vote counts or raise every voice?
the graphic that Gabby sent us, one of the photos is from when we had that event in Arlington Heights,
Right.
10th and Washington, where a few of our former board members are holding that sign. But I wanted to add the one in Spanish as well to make it, lifting every, when we say lifting every voice, we
So
want to lift every voice. So
do you still have that photo? Because I was looking, we're switching computers. I'm having issues tracking everything that I used to have. So I don't have that photo, but in an e-blast, it's easy enough for me to add that photo, not into the graphic, but within whatever I'm putting in the graphic.
okay,
But I don't have the photo.
right. And for the life of me, I cannot remember if Josh was there and Josh took that picture of, Dolores and Rosie and
Did he?
candidate.
I remember that.
Took that photo, so he sent it to us, but the one where I'm holding the one in Spanish, I cannot remember if he took it or it was with my smartphone camera or my good camera. I've looked in my records and I can only find the one on Facebook that I posted on my personal page.
Yeah. No,
It's small.
we have that photo. I just a deep sigh because Gabby had asked for it too, and I know I've got it. I just can't figure out where.
Okay, so
Because I thought it would be in the. I have one folder on my computer with like 100-some photos. It is not there.
because I also checked on the last thing that Josh sent to us or sent to me through an email, I could not find it there either. So,
Right.
okay, we can try, All right. So as far as, so we have until February the 6th, we will continue posting, hopefully boosting without rejections from Facebook, also next door, the community pages as well. Tomorrow, I will be attending the West Adams Avenue's neighborhood community meeting, and Teresa will be presenting as their UNNC rep, and I will be answering questions. So that's one opportunity to promote the elections. Now I still have the postcards. So Grace asked me to drop off 10 in her mailbox. You have 50.
Whatever number. Yeah.
You have 50.
I did not venture out in the rain to the coffee houses. Sorry.
It's yes. The weather has not cooperated. So as soon as it dries up, we can continue with our postcard distribution. Yes. So we need to, I guess, start with tentative date. I have my calendar here.
Yeah.
So
give me one moment. I'll walk off and come right back.
okay.
I needed to grab a calendar because I don't know where my calendar is. All right. Ready.
So February the 6th, candidate filing closes.
Right.
And then February 21st, right, is when they release the list.
And can someone start applying for a ballot before then? Or is that
I don't think so. I think it's February the 21st. We can try to, when you click right now, nothing happens.
Okay, so essentially between the 6th and the 21st,
It's
there's not
not,
a whole lot of marketing. Well,
of course, we can start
Yeah.
announcing that it will be
yeah, for the application for the ballot.
exactly applications can
Right.
yes.
If we have a date certain where we're gonna do, well, we can announce that, but we can more to the point announce, we should have at least one session scheduled by then for us to be helping.
Exactly.
We could announce
So
date coming soon,
right.
mark the calendar. You do also have your outreach and elections committee meeting on Valentine's Day, February 14th. That'll be fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, woohoo.
Each meeting. Thank you for letting me know because I was forgetting. Okay, then so the release the list. Vote by mail applications are the window opens that day and then it goes until I don't have that day with me.
Well, but we had put on our little March would be when we do that. We're not going to wait till April to help people apply for a ballot.
No, absolutely not. It needs to be sometime in March. So
And I do realize we didn't make any sort of particular point to the governing board that the volunteers for that session have to be people not running. Whoever's helping people apply for ballots should not be up close and personal. What if they're also running for office? My opinion. It just doesn't look so good.
yeah. Although the last time they were on the side, several.
I recognize that Dolores was there and then she ran. I recognize that. For example, she's in the photo, so I know she was there.
Yeah.
I don't know that she helped anybody fill out a ballot. So
Sarah Lacey was there, Teresa was there. So yeah.
All right.
We were there.
I wasn't running, neither were you. We're in this cycle. That's my point. We were not running.
Right. But I mean, we were there and yeah, we didn't enforce that.
No, we didn't. But I'm just saying we also never mentioned it to the board that we need helping hands, and ideally it would be people not running.
Right. So
Maybe
the governing board meets in March on Thursday the 2nd, correct?
Yes, also February, Thursday the 2nd. Both months it's the 2nd. We have other opportunities to solicit board volunteers. But I don't really want to schedule these sessions if we have no volunteers. I think we need to do an email.
Right. How about tentatively if we schedule the helping the neighbors on the 11th?
That's fine with me.
Huh?
Yes.
March 11th?
Yes, but ideally in the mid to later afternoon, because I have a little plan check element, a different neighborhood council obligation in the morning.
Okay, so you would like something midday?
Yeah, just not at 10 a.m.
So maybe noonish?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, my real point is in an ideal world, I would not be standing there helping people apply for ballots if I choose to be on the ballot. Just doesn't look good to me.
You haven't decided yet.
Now that too, but that's not my point. My point is I don't think people who are running for office should be.
I understand.
Yeah.
Get it. That's why I want to, yes, I'm gonna have that week to make sure who's helping or not.
Right.
Okay. and location.
I thought we were gonna try the Jefferson
So we'll try
for the first one.
I know for a fact that Jefferson Park Library is already holding events and things in their community room. So I will definitely, now that I know, I will definitely call Carla.
All right, because that's what I thought, you were gonna do. And then if we do a second one, we're back to the question. Are we doing the second one at my contact? Steve Wallace, Start LA, Alibi Coffee.
Okay.
I mean, I'm perfectly willing to handle all of those logistics if that's what we've decided to do.
Okay.
But we need to get insurance for that, which is not a problem, but it just needs to be on the budget.
Okay, so the second one, we're still not.
Correct.
Okay, let's do this one, see how it goes.
Okay.
The meet and greet.
Okay, yes, I understand. We can't at the last minute schedule a second help with a ballot. We have to give the city clerk our schedule. We can't do it at the last minute. Because we need a specific BAC. I mean, these are events without money, but a little bit of money, because we probably have to buy bottled water and little pastries. So we can decide to cancel, but or if we're going to decide
okay,
to do the big elephant in the room is the second location. I mean, we had discussed South Seats House, we had discussed Washington Irving Library itself. We now know that the library is not doing their own, correct?
It's not doing what?
Their own session like this. They're not helping people, right, with ballots. So we need to be, if we're going to do a second one, it needs to be north of the freeway. And the
yes,
we had originally discussed potentially doing it at Start LA as the name of the complex, and I did get permission from the owner, was to bring it north, and in particular north and east, because it's a highly populated area up there.
right.
But I'm not wedded to it. It's just that if we're going to do that, that's a thing we vote on February 2nd at the board meeting. Because it's a quote event. It's not just a print some postcards.
Right. Okay, so.
And so while I'm saying I can handle all the logistics, it's more your decision as to if we really want to do two. And when I say I can handle the logistics, I still have that my uncomfortableness, having not decided if I'm running, being a person actually helping people fill out their ballot applications. I'm not uncomfortable being present if we do that kind of more, do that location.
Okay, so for that one, should we try maybe a Sunday?
Sure.
How about April the 2nd?
Yeah, when is the deadline for these applications to be turned in?
Yes, that is the thing that I should okay, so the deadline to mail. Oh, but that's the ballot already. Okay,
Deadline to apply.
April the 3rd. April the 3rd is the application deadline.
Okay, we probably therefore need to be at least a week before that, because
then
we may need to be mailing a group of ballots applications, correct? Either delivering in person or mailing it in a batch. Because we're not helping people do it online, we're helping them fill it out on paper. So we should do the prior weekend.
Sunday, the 26th then.
Okay, let me ask
And
you.
so that's still March.
Yes, it is. Okay,
All right.
perfect.
Meet and greet.
Well, that could be April 2nd or 1st, if you don't mind April Fools.
I think April 1st.
Okay. And we're gonna try South King's House for that, right?
Yes.
Okay. 2:00 when they close, so that it's us and not the whole world, even though the whole world's invited. But
So 2 p.m.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
And that's tentative. I mean, if they say, no, we have to do it while they are staffing, then we'll do it at noon.
yes, all right. And then the virtual,
Yeah.
the forum. So should we do it in the evening on a weekday like we did the last time?
Probably.
Well, I attended, and I think for folks who are working, maybe that would be an alternative.
Right. So, let me just ask you this. Do you want to give up your outreach meeting night and do it that night, Tuesday, April 11th?
April 11th.
Do you want, I mean,
Sure.
I'm looking at the calendar, and so days where there aren't other meetings scheduled is what we're kind of looking at, right? And not just other UNNC meetings, but we wouldn't want to do it on the second Wednesday because that's the Avenues meeting, right? I'm just trying to figure out the grid. So if you give up your own meeting, and even if that means we reschedule you to a different, this session to an earlier date because we're doing more planning.
Right. Okay, so yes, let's do that. So
because then we know no one's going to gripe because it's your meeting night.
right. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Good.
And we'll see if Greg can help. But I have access still to the city Zoom. Because it'd be better to do it on the other Zoom because we can accommodate up to 500 people, whereas there is up to 100.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Wouldn't it be lovely if we had more than 100 people?
Yes.
So, but we'll ask Greg too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do we have we heard anything from CD10 or not yet?
Not yet, because I don't know about you, I've been literally underwater with our properties with flooding.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah. So and Greg's. So I need to check in with Greg to see if I have permission to be the entity writing the email to CD10. I mean, again, it shouldn't be a problem. I think we all are friends here, as it were. Everybody at CD10 knows everybody at UNNC. So, but I just need to make sure Greg's okay with me writing the email.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, we have our calendar.
Okay. So now, would we like to ask communications for, so obviously vote, but before that, And of course, I'll just coordinate with them offline, but something, maybe postcards,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm losing track.
voting.
I mean, I see, suggesting to people, doing an outreach effort about you can vote by mail or vote in person, but if you want to vote by mail, you need to apply for a ballot. Something about that, is that what you're saying?
Well, I was actually getting
That was
ahead.
a little bit wordy what I just said, but we need to let people know that there's two
That
methods.
it's hybrid.
Yeah,
Hybrid election.
you know, it'd be kind of fun. No, kind of fun. I'm thinking visually is get that word hybrid. You know how you see it in the dictionary and they have the marks, you know, like defining what the word hybrid means. but as the graphic, you know. And this year we're having
The two choices, hybrid and the two choices, and
right.
have someone
Right.
out and
Well, you don't even
mailbox and
have
another
to-
walking.
Yes, or just have a big orange high, whatever the mark would be, grid, you know, and then words below that, but make that a graphic for one of our things. So, but so, I mean, in other words, Gabby and Raheem and the communications committee, I feel at some point they really got to get on board here. And the other thing I'm thinking about as a simple graphic to go at the bottom of some of the e-blasts, I mean, going back to trying to change it up, I can make a horizontal banner line, but you know, sure, it'd be at the end, that's just portraits, and then that can keep changing.
Okay.
You know, I mean, in other words, but that's only good for e-blasts. It's not so good for, you know, the social media posts.
Yeah.
Right. And but that kind of just ends the blast. It's like a little, it's like a line, only it'd be a line of faces.
Yes.
And that should be accomplishable with all of our many photos, because I'd be squaring them all off.
Sure.
So, and then keep making that the changing array, because I think making the multiple collages is proving slow.
Okay.
So, okay. But yeah, I mean, I know we have to get going. I think you saw I tucked in the notice about last night's webinar just in the e-blast about the meetings this week. That's not ideal, but I just kind of again ran out of time to.
Okay. Sure. So we got those two designs from the communications team. I guess we could use those. I mean, because I'm always thinking about, you know, my end, right? Social media, Facebook and Nextdoor. So I guess we could just use those and just change the message.
Correct.
Try to rotate.
We can use those too. Hope we get some more. I can make the little other banner, but that's not going to be very useful because you can only do one image, right? I mean, one real image. But the other thing is, yeah, we don't want to say this. We don't want to send out "we're diverse." We don't want to say those words. So there's no point in posting a bunch of individual photos. We're just trying to sort of more demonstrate who we are, and without saying, you know, this is us. So, you know, I hope she'll come up with a couple more. I think everybody's really busy, but we've got 2 good ones to start with. I thought she did a good job.
Yes. Okay.
I liked them. All right. We're going back and forth to this agenda. Okay, timeline. So I should tell you that we have on the environmental committee agenda for Thursday a more specific discussion only of the Earth Day.
Okay.
And on the agenda is kind of still generic a little bit, but we've been, on the email to committee members, it was more start thinking about the specific organizations we're going to offer a table to, so we get a table count. And ideally, I put in the email, ideally, each person does some of it because Elizabeth and I can't do all of it. I mean, I in particular, but nobody can do all of it. But we're starting to talk very specifically, so we can also get a good table count.
Okay.
So that, I think most of the planning is going to come out of that committee and not out of this committee, for the obvious reasons that it isn't actually an election; it's actually a Earth Day. So I'm hoping we can get some other board members to get on board with helping with that.
Yes, of course. And they should.
Right.
Okay, so let's see, what else do we need?
Well, did you look at the, okay, where are we? Because we have the timeline. Oh, you have electioneering rules.
Yes. So I guess we can always say what you proposed. And if something happens, we'll get to it.
Well, I guess what your issue is my issue is the perception of electioneering. So let's just not allow electioneering in the festival either. And then that compares with, the First Amendment and the right to free speech if they're outside the electioneering boundaries. So I think I'll just shoot off an email to Ruth, the city attorney, and ask, because why not? She'll probably have a thought on that, and because I'm worried about the perception. I'm also worried about the cluttering up of a Earth Day festival with a bunch of political paper, and we're trying to, among other things, tell people, be climate sensitive. Use less paper, use less plastic, you know what I mean? It's sort of like, but that's a whole other thing. So I'll send an email off to our city attorney for the neighborhood council, just ask her what we could or could not do. So get it out of the realm of the elections clerk or the funding clerk and into the lawyer's hand and just get some advice.
Right.
Will that work for you?
Who is this person again?
Oh, Ruth Quan, she's the city attorney for UNNC.
No.
I'll copy you.
Yes, please. All right. So I can put it in the minutes.
Okay.
Get to them. Okay.
KWAN.
Thank you. Let's see, what else do we have here?
So in terms of the budget, which is 5B, I had sent you a draft, the items more specifically, but I need to circle back with Paul and Grace to our funding clerk to find out, for a meet and greet, are we still limited to the kind of refreshments that are described for meetings, for different council meetings in the funding handbook, which is an 80-page document that most people don't get unless they take the full, it's on the city clerk's website, but no one ever downloads it. So I don't want to, so what do you think we want to have for refreshments for the in-person meet and greet? I mean, we're doing this after COVID protections end, and in person is legit again. We're probably going to be meeting in person as a board too. So if that being the case, I don't know why we couldn't do grapes, little fruit things, little cheese things, except for they all have to have toothpicks in them, and pastries. I mean, but is that what you had in mind, along with water, sparkling water, and soft drinks? Or do you want it to be more simple?
More like yeah, quick bites.
Yeah, but quick bites like little squares of cheese. I mean, that's what I'm asking you. Okay, so we'll ask the clerk, because I think that still comes under the category of, in effect, simple refreshments.
Okay.
Okay,
First,
and
for meet and greet.
for the meet and greet, so it feels like a little bit like not a cocktail party, but a reception.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing fancy, nothing real expensive, but but we'll need to budget it. I did put that. I assumed that, so the budget I had sent you and Paul and Grace, and Greg, assumed that level of refreshments,
Okay.
but not sandwiches, not all that.
Okay.
In terms of that budget, election day refreshments for your polling place, I don't think we have to have that approved quite yet. I know you haven't gotten an answer. So I don't think we have to have a budget for that.
I'm shocked that we haven't heard anything.
Well, I understand, but what I'm saying is the refreshments for volunteers and poll workers who are paid either way in the polling place, I don't feel will be dinged if we don't have an answer in time for the board meeting on February 2nd. Although I'm also shocked that we don't have an answer already.
Yeah. I don't know why. Did they receive the message?
I don't know.
It's concerning.
It's concerned. Well, aren't we supposed to be having some one-on-one meetings? None of that's been happening. Yeah. So because we haven't even asked if we do these in-person sessions for helping people fill out their ballots, is this gal going to be as accommodating as Robert was last time around? Where he said, "Oh yeah, sure, just send them to me." So I am concerned.
Yes.
That we're not getting this kind of direct.
Let me follow up on that. And also I'll be sending an email to Gibson, okay?
Right. And what I read in
They would be contacting us, but I better.
Well, it was to be a meeting one-on-one with the elections committee and Dunn and the clerk. It was to be one meeting, like it was the last time. That's what it said in the profile, but not so far. So anyway.
I requested that the next meeting should be one rep from each side because they could not answer all the questions. Remember at the Congress of Neighborhoods, it was also the case because that was the city clerk, right?
Right.
And when I asked, I can't remember now what I asked, they couldn't answer because they said that was probably on the Don side. And now when we had this, what was it? Awareness and engagement workshop that was with Don and they couldn't answer. So.
Okay, well, let's see what's gonna happen. Yes.
Let's schedule something jointly.
Correct. So, and I think that the only issue is going to be is your work schedule, and I'm assuming.
Right. Yes, it's pretty hectic as it is.
I don't think you can take 30 minutes out of work, right? Because that's why it's called work.
Oh no, I can't. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is when I have my free period. So for example, today, Tuesdays and Thursdays, it just happens to be at the end of the last period of class. That's my free period.
Well, that's what you need to tell them, give them those dates. Because they're not going to meet with us on a weekend or at night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a daytime.
Okay.
So
I have to give up. Yeah, because that's right. My prep time. Yeah.
Right. Well, it should only be a 30-minute thing anyway, but You're saying Tuesday and Thursday?
Tuesday and Thursday, and I think it goes from 12:50, 80 minutes, 10 to 10.
Well,
I think it's from 2:10 that I'm free.
yeah, you just need to tell them that and let me know. On Wednesday the 18th, which is not one of your options, I'm not available, but that doesn't matter. You understand. I mean, I'm more flexible, but not 100%. But if you send out an email that says what you just told us,
Okay.
Tuesday, Thursday, 2:10 for about 40 minutes max, right? Because
Okay.
that's my only schedule. It's really too bad we didn't do this before.
Yes.
You should say.
Okay. All right. Any other? Oh, so we also need a banner, right?
Well, did they not finish the design? I
The
think we need-
banner is being finished tonight. That's what
Okay.
I saw.
and
The
where are we
banner
putting-
or the candidate recruiting.
okay, where is it going to be hung?
I'm sorry?
Do you know? Where are you bannering it?
Oh,
Where is
I need to ask World Harvest.
Okay, all right, right.
And then, I don't know, some other place?
Well, here's the question. If we hit,
We could use that location on Arlington,
here's my question.
where our current banner is, we could put ours for now.
Yeah, wasn't my question. Here's my question. My question is if we have, wait, 1, 2, 3 more weeks. 3 more full weeks, not counting this week. Can we move the banner from one place to another over those 3 weeks?
Well, who can move?
Well, I don't mean can you, Lindsay, move the banner?
I would be all for it. Sure.
Right. So, we would need a volunteer or 2.
At a church, Holman,
Well, Gramercy Apartments.
Gramercy Apartments.
You know, I mean, in other words, let's ponder that because I don't think we need to vote on that. But if
Maybe Alibi.
yeah, that one would be harder because they have a very short fence, actually. Not impossible, but I'm thinking we're hanging it on the outside of a fence, right?
Yes.
So
Somewhere where it would not be vandalized, probably. Hopefully.
yeah, then there's that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Let's think about it. But what I'm saying is maybe if it can move around, we get the message out to more people.
Maybe
I don't know.
maybe we could have a couple of volunteers who will actually, like
Well,
the,
but as you say
traffic
that,
thing, that it would be 2 people.
okay, you're having fun, but as you're saying, where it would not be vandalized, it wouldn't be vandalized if it's not coming off a second story instead of ground level.
That too.
So let me.
Somewhere where it could be,
Yeah.
visible. Well, let's think about it later, but definitely I think 2 banners are worth.
Because again, I
It's
said
not hugely expensive.
correct. Because maybe Johnny would let us do it for a couple of days, up high at I still call it Eureka, but Johnny's Grill, which is Washington. I think he has an ability to do stuff up high.
All right.
So, let me drive around in the sunshine when it's not raining the next few days.
Okay, and see if
Get
it's
some ideas. And is it, do you know the dimensions?
not yet.
Okay, send me the dimensions as soon as you have them.
Okay.
Because
Sure.
that will also color the conversation in terms of who do we talk to.
Is
to
the
get it.
Have you seen the picture of the one that we used for Taste of Soul? That was
Yeah.
It's too thin, right?
It's too thin
So you
for
need
this.
a little
I
taller.
mean, it's 1 foot because we didn't want people hitting their heads on it when they're at camp.
For a banner of
A
this
better size would be
maybe
2
more.
feet high. Yeah,
Okay, so make it a little taller.
yeah. Or 20 inches instead of, maybe not 24, but 20 inches like this. And I don't know, I mean, the other one is 10 feet long, right?
Maybe.
Well, the tents are 10 feet. It could be less, but I would say 8, 6 to 8 feet. It's not lightweight. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a banner that we were using on a house when we were doing a restoration job, but then it's down. I mean, the job is done. But every time I have to move it out of the way, it's like, oh gosh, I'm reminded this is heavy, and I think it was 2 by 6, and it's still heavy.
Yeah.
So because it's a good material.
Yes, that is true. Okay, so banners, more banners.
Maybe move it, okay. So, but you've got to get a core design of the banner, right? Anyway,
Yes.
okay. I think we're beating this a little bit to death. I know we need to very specifically take, and this we is maybe more me than you, but you too. The way the clerk laid it out for us, meaning the funding clerk, not the elections clerk, she said in January, pass your overall budget, which we did, in big numbers. But in your February meeting, bring me BACs for each event, one at a time. So that means I have to take that, or you have to take that, or we have to take that to the executive committee. And again, the detailed budget kind of did break it down, but I think we need to take these as individual events, because what she said was she wants to analyze the insurance needs one by one.
Okay.
And I'm hoping she agrees with my analysis that if something is at a city building,
we don't need
insurance, so that we would only need insurance
taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just so you know, that I still have to parse that budget out by event and with more details in terms of numbers, share with you, and then we got to take it to executive.
When is our deadline for executive?
Well,
we already got a message from Paula.
It's, to put it on the agenda. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's next Tuesday. Thank you very much. So I have homework. So just you, if you will email her and say, Laura will provide details, but we're going to need to do the separate motions for each election related session or event at executive. Just tell her that.
All right.
And I can give her I can write her the item because each one will have a funding request attached. Or funding approval in this case.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Moving on. And then more details about Earth Day Festival will be discussed at environmental committee.
Thursday night, yes. And we'll also be getting, hopefully have a good answer from CD10.
Okay. Yes.
I would say the big elephant in the room with Council District 10, the tables, chairs, we can get one porta potty from them. Danielle already told me one porta potty. And I'm going to ask her to set up and it's hand washing. But
you saw that Grace has offered her tables and chairs too, right?
Yeah, but do you want to carry them? I don't. I'd rather they be delivered. So I can ask, saving the money. It's not saving money if there's nobody there to bring them. Yeah. So, and it is saving money, but I don't have a truck. And if CD10 is willing to rent them, why do we need to borrow them? So let's see what CD10. That wasn't really. I feel they're going to give us tables, chairs, tents, for sure one porta potty with hand washing. I don't think we may need to pay for a second one. I think 2 is a better number, to be honest. But she said they can pay for one. The street closure. So the big elephant in our room is food, festival food. So for the opening of the park event, same location last October, was it? That I never went to because I was at the Thrill of Sugar Hill. They paid Johnny's Grill $2,750 to provide lots of different kinds of food. That's way beyond any budget I want to spend money on. I'd rather, in other words, it's just an ephemeral day, event. So I would rather spend money in the longer run on feeding people, giving blankets to the unhoused, stuff like that. So that if CV10 wants to spend that money, I'd be real happy to say sure. So that's the big question. I put in our draft budget 1,500 on the assumption we would limit it to hot dogs, chips, and waters. They had all kinds of other food according to the invoice. I wasn't there, and you were there, but I don't know if you noticed that there was all kinds of other food.
There were different things, but right now I can't remember the details, but it was definitely more than hot dogs.
Correct. And frankly, it's an Earth Day event, so we would have to have vegetarian, vegan-y some things, but I don't know what that would be at the moment. So I want to see if Council District 10 is willing to pick up the entire food cost. And if the answer is yes, then that's a good answer, and I don't have to worry at the moment about the menu. But if the answer is no, then I need to really quickly figure out what's a good Earth Day menu that's $1,500 or less. So, because plant-based hot dogs is hardly a good answer because it requires multiple grills, because you can't grill them or use the same utensils as the meat-based. So that becomes a different kind of difficult. So, and you're wondering why I know this, but that's because I did an event with both, and it was hard, actually. It was really hard to get the people doing the grilling to honor the system.
That's true.
It was hard. So, and plant-based hot dogs are also very expensive. So for all of those reasons, there's got to be a better answer.
Right.
So,
okay. All right. So
very
I think we can move on to the next agenda item, which is the UNNC at 20 hashtag campaign, which is kind of halted right now. But what I wanted to know is, so we have that tree post that it's still.
Well, I wrote something and I gave you some images.
Yes, so maybe I will try this week.
Right.
And then we have the libraries, focus on our libraries, including maybe the free little libraries as well. And then our parks.
Well, focus on reading and books. Call it reading and books as opposed to library.
I think the libraries.
All right.
Because they are,
All right.
Parks now. I don't know if you watched last night's presentation.
I wasn't there.
I think you need to go and see. There's very interesting numbers that I think we might want to maybe highlight, start the conversation.
Did Nuriel or Grace put that into the agenda packets, the presentation?
Well, we suggested that, it should be.
I'll shoot an email. I will shoot an email to Grace and Nuriel and just say, actually under the Brown Act, it is required. So I wasn't able to see it, but I heard it was really good, but we need to post it in the agenda packet if it's not already there. I mean, Grace has posting ability, so I mean, I could probably verify right now, but I don't want to. Yeah.
I mean, and it's on YouTube.
Pardon?
It is on YouTube. I watched it after the.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
That doesn't comply with the Brown.
No. What I'm saying is just
Right.
to share it forward, because I immediately shared it forward with
Okay.
my neighbors and whatnot.
Well, I personally would like a PDF of the presentation, as a member of the public, and it is the requirement.
Yes, of course, and I'm sure that
Yeah.
would not be a problem. Okay, so we may consider maybe posting something about that, but any other ideas that you think we should?
Well, was it good demographic? I mean, in other words, since I didn't see it, it was a look from the 2020 census at our demographics, question mark.
It was a conglomerate of different, I don't know, data.
Okay, so here's my answer. Yes, I think we should. And yes,
No,
I'd like.
What I'm saying, that put separate. What I'm saying is ideas for the hashtag.
Yeah, what you just asked me is one of the ideas for the hashtag is who is UNNC, a demographic snapshot. And my answer is core, yes. And I can certainly write it once I see it, because I'm a writer. And I will shoot an email to Nuriel and Grace ASAP after this meeting to say, please send me a copy. I will post it into the agenda packet.
Mhm.
I won't say as required by the Brown Act, but it is required. So, did anybody on the board, after you asked for ideas, send you anything?
Oh, I said I asked, but nobody so far. Nobody has. Maybe I'll send an email.
Yeah. Right. So,
Committees, the work of the committees.
well, I already did the one on affordable housing from planning and zoning. We already
Yes,
did
that was by far our most popular one.
correct. I mean, we can dip again into historical down the road a little bit, because the beautiful houses was not what we did. We just said we're so proud of our history.
And I still want to do. About the houses, I still want to do one on our HPOZs.
Okay,
Because we have so many.
correct.
Okay, so yeah, so now we're getting a good, list. What
Right.
else?
So, because we could also do HPOZs, and we can still talk about, again, there's 20. It's just we can't put them together. I mean, if we do HPOZs as I'm making it up, 9. And remember, it was number 3 on the rate chart, so number 4. So we do HPOZs, maybe number 10. By the time we get to 18 or 19, we can also do some really pretty individual landmark houses.
Yes, absolutely.
So, but we can't put them all in the same place.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And so, yes, I certainly can do the one on the houses. John wrote something that's on our website about the HPOZs. I'd have to, but 2-3 years ago. But it was so, but it might not be.
Arnold, you mean John? Okay, great. So I will ask him for permission, maybe.
Oh, right, because we can relink to it.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact. Now, I feel like Hugh wrote a really great piece on homelessness also a while back. But it was on the website, because there's no reason for some of these articles not to be brought back to the fore. And when I say he wrote, I have to remind myself, but he's an emergency room nurse dealing primarily with the homeless. And so he wrote it from that perspective, if I recall. But Paul also wrote this is when board members were being asked to write.
Yes.
Right. But I don't see a reason why some of those posts couldn't be dusted off in effect by linking to them.
Yes.
And say, we are, we focus on this, we focus on that, but clearly we have focused, our homelessness liaison committee is not focused on cleaning up the streets. They're literally focused on liaisoning with people who are unhoused and helping them. I mean, actually going out and talking to people when we were before COVID and the beginning to do it again and doing feedings. I mean, it's a different approach than other neighborhood councils. I'm not sure I'm saying it right, but we're here to support those who are homeless. We're not here to clear them away and out of our boundaries. So however we say that, I mean, we could make a post and then we could even put both links, although I don't think you can on Facebook put two different links because I think they pop up photos when you have a.
Right, something pops up
Yeah,
immediately.
which we don't necessarily want to have happen. So
Well,
anyway,
what we can do, we can always in a comment include some. Yeah.
oh yeah, read this story. They're on our website. That would be a good way to do it.
That's how we could include so much content on the low income projects because we did.
Got it. So I think we should do one post on the work of the of UNNC's homelessness liaison efforts or something like that. Not just the word committee, but so that'd be one to do. I'll try and get more focused on it. This again, dealing with some flooding.
I'm sorry?
Tomorrow I'm dealing with some contractors who are dealing with flooding.
Oh, yeah. And what I
Well,
had
it's been bad. So tomorrow's not a good day for me to do this. No, it's not like a river flood, just a,
but still,
messes.
that's something you plan, right? You plan for. Okay.
Well, what you get an email from a tenant say, I haven't mentioned this before, but the outside drain's been not so clear for some time, but it hadn't rained, so I didn't mention it. Oh yay. And now our parking area and the driveway has a foot of water.
Why?
Exactly. So
Okay.
that's what I've been dealing with all week. So and still tomorrow, and then I have a little more time. So I will think of how to do the homelessness thing. But speaking of social media, not UNNC at 20, unless you want to start out this way, UNNC at 20 has for many years been one of the centers of the annual homeless count, which is, we do need to promote this in social media, which is Thursday, the 26th of January.
Yes.
So I don't know if we want to do a twofer or if that's just a standalone. Probably better a standalone.
Just a standalone. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So any more ideas? Welcome. I welcome them because we still need to fill 20.
Right. And I would suggest, I'll do it too, look at our bylaws. We have bullet points for our mission and our
That could trigger. Oh, the oil issue.
Well,
That's a long
standing.
and
Well, maybe, and would Steve write something boring? He would. He's not a social media guy, Peckman. But yeah, we should do something.
It needs to be short and sweet. So it
Right.
will not be. Yeah, we'll come up with something. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, but noting that our position of advocacy hasn't necessarily totally aligned with the people who wanted to shut oil down, nor with people who want to keep it going forever. So it's going to be a delicate balance.
Right, but it's as the UNNC. So
that's what I'm saying. UNNC.
Yeah, we don't have to be mean or say that we are 100% correct either.
No, I understand, but I'm saying we never actually were among the people advocating to shut down.
Right.
We've always been the entity advocating for safe operations.
Yes.
So it's a bit delicate post, so they have to be careful with it.
Okay, sure, sure. So the oil, and then I was thinking of something else that I can't. Ah. Oh, the airplane thing.
That's another John.
Huh?
That would be another John Arnold.
Oh, yeah, John Arnold. Okay. All right, good. I'm happy.
All right.
I'm happy with this list so far. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? You think we're good?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get things together, contact a couple of people,
Okay.
no old business to,
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing I just sent up for Thursday. And
okay.
the-
And again, the minutes will be tabled. All
Okay.
right. So if nothing else, we will adjourn this meeting at 7:45.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lindsay.
All right. Thank you, Laura.
so
And
I
thank you for
probably have to
calling
get
you,
those-
sir, number one.
Yeah, I'll get those postcards out.
Yes.
Pictures.
Okay. And if you could suggest somewhere else to send them, but I'll
Where-
try after work to go, some other
Sure.
places and just drop them off.
Well, I guess Cafe 5, which is the Jefferson Boulevard.
Cinco. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm not as familiar with what's on Jefferson as I am more Washington and
Okay.
Peterborough.
The libraries, of course. I keep forgetting. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Oh, and some of the little libraries.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. We
All
can
right.
always contact them. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.